Good day. You're listening to the Spiritual Artist Podcast. This is Chris Miller. I wanted to share a story with you today about something that recently happened. I just got back from Santa Fe. I love to go to Santa Fe because it is so calming and restorative. It is my place. It's my place to get in touch and get grounded. And I had this enlightening moment about abundance and how abundance is something that comes in small increments. And we like to think of it as some big effect. So let me tell you where I got this enlightening moment from. I was driving down the highway, and if you've ever been to Santa Fe, and I'm going to show some pictures here, the mountains are beautiful. Wherever you drive, if you drive up from Albuquerque to Santa Fe, the mountains are gorgeous. There are beautiful shades of blue and aqua and gray blue. And it's hard to explain. You have to see them, but they're huge. They're huge. And as I talk about in my book, I think it's important to look for what I call moments of awe. And moments of awe are when you look at the beauty of life and you notice it and you start adding up all the beauty of life. And so in this particular morning, well, I was feeling a little short on abundance, meaning I felt lackful. I was worried that there wasn't enough. I didn't have enough this, enough that, enough money, enough health. Who knows? But when I was driving up the highway, I saw that mountain and I was so impressed. And I thought, you know what? That's kind of how we look at abundance. Not that abundance comes in mountains, but we look at it as abundance as this great big moment, something that's going to occur in our life that is just going to be so huge and dramatic and shifting that we're going to finally feel an end point. And I got somewhere, a sense of abundance. But the actual truth of the matter is that mountain, which was so impressive, didn't just pop up there overnight. In fact, it took years and years and centuries of little steps, little tiny steps. It took years of rain, water, air, wind, earth building up on top of itself over eons of time, little pieces of abundance. So, what I thought of is I thought that mountain represents the end result of abundance and how our life on this planet is so full of abundance. There are so many samples and definitions of abundance if we just look around. And so as I was driving up the highway, getting closer to Santa Fe, I looked at those mountains and I thought, I know what abundance is. Abundance is noticing all those small little things in your life, all those tiny little details and adding them up. And when you add them up, it might not be some big shift in your life, but we all know how the law of attraction works. And with the law of attraction is what we feel and know that we have, we gain more of. And so by knowing our abundance, knowing my abundance at the time gains more for me. So it was a spiritual practice. I began listing off all the ways in which I was abundant as I drove to Santa Fe. I looked at the mountains and I thought, I'm abundant in views. I'm abundant in the beauty of this view. I'm abundant in the wind blowing through the window. There was abundance of wind. I was abundant in the fact that I had a car. There were times in my life when I couldn't have afforded a car to even drive or even get to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. So I was abundant in the fact that I was taking this trip. I was abundant at the time that I wasn't feeling sick or ill of health. I was breathing in good states. And see how it builds on itself? This is how abundance works. Abundance builds on itself. You start adding up all the ways that you are abundant. So I ask you today, as you go through the day, and maybe sit down this morning with a sheet of paper. I've done this. Write down all the ways in which you're abundant. Just start numbering them. I'm abundant with this. I'm abundant that I have a good breakfast. I'm abundant that I slept well. I'm abundant that I have a great family around me. Or I'm abundant that I don't have a lot of people around me. Actually, I'm abundant in solitude or time to think. I'm abundant in flexibility. I'm abundant in knowledge. I'm abundant in relationship. I'm abundant in all the things that I've done in my life. I'm abundant in the fact that I've gotten to this point in my life. I'm abundant. Do you see how it goes? It just builds upon itself. So next time when you see a huge mountain or some great aspect of nature that just inspires you with awe, always remember that it didn't just pop up overnight. This planet is evolved slowly, slowly. And that is how you practice abundance. slowly dictate all the wonderful things. And soon, at some point, you will look back and you will see this huge monument to that abundant thinking. So as you go on through the day today, write down a list, think it with you, go through the day and carry it with you and add items to that list as the day goes on. And you'll see by the end of the day just how many ways you are truly abundant. It's an abundant universe. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.